thanks to Don Vicente Rama. We have come a long way, yet we continue to grow. Cebu City continues to be a work in progress. We all know that the past year had been a very challenging one. Our momentum was disrupted by a global pandemic never before seen in our lifetimes. We were wrapped in responding to COVID-19 and focused most of our energy in containing it. Every one of us was affected in ways we could have never imagined before. But if there's anything good that emerged from this pandemic, it is the Cebuanos' resiliency in the face of this crisis. This year, we celebrate Cebuano resiliency, a product of our faith and commitment to our community. I think this perfectly encapsulates not only this past year, but our deep and rich history. Señor Santo Niño has been an important pillar in our journey as we overcame trials and adversities. But the faith to the Almighty Creator transcends various forms and denominations. This interweaving of faith among us has made Cebu City steadfast, united, and resilient. Today's occasion pays homage to that. The contributions of all sectors of society, each with their respective roles to play, should be celebrated. So, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers Cebuanos, I thank all of you, especially to our awardees who went out of the way to serve our beloved city. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to all our frontliners, especially in the healthcare sector, and the rest of our essential workers and public servants who have worked tirelessly throughout this pandemic to save lives. Dako kaayo ang akong pasalamat sa tanang mitabang sa city government sa pagkigbugno ni ining COVID-19 pandemic. Through our interwoven faith, we continue to propel Cebu City to greater heights. With this, I am happy to share with you what we have achieved thus far. The COVID pandemic underscored the importance of our public health sector. We constructed our very own Cebu City Quarantine Center for COVID-positive patients, which some or the IATF from Manila underscored and commented that this kind of facility is not found in any part of Metro Manila. And this Cebu Quarantine Center for COVID patients also houses a very important equipment, which are the new dialysis machines for residents with renal problems. Dialysis machines, 8 all of them. For more than 7 years, Cebu City Medical Center operated in a makeshift area just a block from its original location. Though the pandemic slowed down construction at CCMC, but before 2020 ended, we began accepting patients for outpatient services at the newly constructed building. Karon, atong gipaablihan ang unang tulo ka andana sa bag-ong building sa CCMC aron mas malapdan pa ang atong pagserbisyo sa atong katawhan. Labi na gayud kadtong mga kabus nang inahanglan og medical nga pagtagad nga wa intahoy ika-afford sa atong mga private hospitals. As we continue to open the floors, we are excited to develop it into a state-of-the-art public hospital. Our young people have also been affected adversely during this pandemic, with face-to-face classes suspended indefinitely since March last year. Mao kini nakapaaghat kanato nga mangita og mga pamaagi aron matabangan nato sila lakip na ang ilang mga ginikanan. Using the ubiquitous transistor radio, Ed Radio supplements DepEd's learning modules by bringing our teachers onto the airwaves. And soon, with the help of DICT, we will run a public Wi-Fi project in our pilot barangays. We have also granted 1 million financial subsidy to the sangguniang kabataan in each of the city's 80 barangays for the implementation of youth projects and support programs. This was an essential piece as we launched EdHub, where together with our SK officials, we set up a loanable gadget system so that students and other residents can easily connect to the web. And that's not all. We have more projects down the line. We plan to design and improve our libraries so that they are responsive to the needs of current and professional learning. Second, though our partnership with the British Cities program, we have now produced a preliminary concept, Cebu City College, thanks to the British Council's Global Future Cities program. This will be our guidebook in making this dream a reality. And another sector who suffered through this pandemic is our business sector. For several months, many businesses had to temporarily close, with some even shutting for good. We've worked hand in hand with our entrepreneurs to help jumpstart our local economy with paramount observance and implementation of minimum health standards. Jointly, hand in hand with the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, we have conceptualized this Cebu Concierge project, which will invite investors from foreign countries. Aron matabangan ang atong mga negosyante, ang konseho gyud sa thanks to the Sangguniang Panlunsod, mipasar og ordinansa nga nag-extend sa deadline sa pagbayad sa real property and business tax. We granted amnesty for some delinquent taxpayers in order to encourage them to pay their dues. In the early months of our administration, we prioritized the new 2-year validity of business in addition to the 1-day processing of business permits. It ensures that doing business in Cebu City is streamlined and accessible to all. Padayon gayod ang atong pakig-alayon sa mga business groups, labi na sa pamunuan ni Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Felix Tagyam. And atong ipadayon ang atong mga proyekto nga naglakip sa atong Cebu City Development Concierge Center. We were recently recognized as one of 4 LGUs in Central Visayas to receive a National Digital Governance Awards 2020 for the innovative use of technology to deliver public services to residents. We also bagged second place honors in the Best Empowerment Award city level. As the city expands from positive economic activity, the demand for mobility increased tremendously, straining our existing public infrastructure. Addressing traffic is a daunting task which requires the collaboration between the city, national agencies, our neighboring local government units. When the city was in lockdown, nakita nato ang sakripisyo sa atong mga frontliners aron lang makaabot sa ilang trabahoan ug makapadayon og serbisyo bisan pa man nga way pambuklikong sakyanan. Since then, our City Planning Office and Cebu Bike Lanes Board has been hard at work determining bike routes. With the generous help of DPWH in implementing the bike lanes in our national roads, our lanes hope to connect our neighboring cities, and in the near future, we will see more bike infrastructure, bike racks, bike sheds, to encourage our residents out of their cars and contribute positively to our environment. Last year, we approved a 500 million pesos overhaul of our 30-year-old traffic system. I want to underscore 30-year-old traffic system. Now, we already see the digital traffic system bearing fruit in our downtown area, where at least 18 intersections in the city already have digitalized traffic lights. This smart traffic system, aided by high-definition cameras, will help CCTO and CPDO efficiently and effectively manage our vehicle flow. We can expect more intersections to go online in the ensuing months. Another much-awaited project is the Cebu Bus Rapid Transit project. Rest assured, the city government is working closely with the Department of Transportation, which is the implementing agency of the project. We can expect construction works to start on the BRT's Package 1, from the Cebu South Bus Terminal to the Cebu Provincial Capital very soon. In the meantime, our modern jeepneys and buses have provided a more convenient mode of transport for our residents. Through our Balik Pasada program, we have gradually allowed traditional jeepneys to run again for as long as they can comply the minimum health protocols spelled out by the Department of Health and by the LTFRB. We are working closely with LTFRB and LTO as we prepare for the jeepney modernization deadline. Again, I am thankful for the steadfast support of our city planners who are thinking of innovative ways to increase the mobility of our residents despite the many challenges that we are facing. Meanwhile, exciting times are ahead at the South Road properties. After several years and delays, the consortium of property giants SM and Ayala is currently busy with the site improvements of their 45-hectare mixed-use development at the SRP. This will have a 16,000 seating capacity convention center, a 1-hectare park, and commercial and residential spaces. PhilInvest is also developing their 19-hectare property at the SRP for another mixed-use project, while UHRI's Isla de la Victoria project is slowly taking shape. Lakip sa atong labing gipasigarbo ang Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway nga direktang nagkonektar dinhi sa atong syudad paingon sa lungsod sa Cordova aron usab maminusan ang kahuot sa kahimtang sa trapiko sa unang duha ka mga taytayan nato dinhi sa Subo. By the end of 2020, the project contractors reported it is 59.6% complete ang atong ikatulong taytayan. Last month, the city has formally signed its joint venture agreement with Megawide Construction Corporation for the Carbon Public Market Redevelopment Project. On behalf of the city government, I signed the contract, and on the other hand, the representatives from the Megawide Construction Corporation also signed together with us on that memorable event. This will be Carbon's first major facelift in its 100 years of existence. Mas manindot pa unya ang merkado sa carbon human sa maong proyekto nga di masakripisyo. Akong kanunay gayod nga gi-highlight nga di masakripisyo ang panginabuhian sa atong mga vendors nga naninda na diha sa labing dako og karaan nga merkado sud na sa pipila ka tuig. Change will not happen overnight, and we want to assure our carbon market vendors that they will not be displaced, for they are the lifeblood of the market. The vendors are carbon market are the vendors. When completed, we hope carbon market will become a world-class market, generating more jobs, promoting the city's tourism and heritage. In 2019, we committed to making Cebu City a clean and green city. Sisinro and the Agriculture Department planted over 1 million trees already, despite months' long hiatus due to the pandemic. We did this by organizing tree planting initiatives in both mountain and coastal areas in the city. We are closer to our goal of 3 million trees by 2022. In the city center, the Parks and Playground Commission has been busy with greening programs to provide pockets of green space. Padayon ang atong pagpanindot sa atong mga center islands, sidewalks, o mga public parks. Sama ba sa Plaza Independencia o sa Puente Osmeña Circle? Tanawan ninyo, our native flora is flourishing and our trees are standing strong, giving people shade and respite from the heat of the sun. We have planted thousands of bougainvillea plants, flowering plants, and hoping that we will be dubbed as the bougainvillea city of the country. and we still continue planting bougainvillea plants. More recently, the Department of Public Services implemented a round-the-clock garbage collection scheme. Our garbage trucks run the main thoroughfares in 2 shifts from 4 a.m. until 12 noon and from 4 p.m. until 12 midnight. And in the middle of the day, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. They will focus on business establishments, hospitals, and government offices. The anti-basura team, composed of personnel from DPS, CISINRO, the CISET, and BEOs, will now monitor over 100 hotspots, ensuring adherence to the new scheme. Ang bag-ong pamaagi sa pagkolekta sa mga basura makatabang nga mamintinar ang kalimpyo sa atong syudad. For the longest time, Cebu City's strategy for housing the poor has been the acquisition of piece of land with terrains that are oftentimes less than ideal and far from the opportunities or sources of living. Ang atong administrasyon karon nagtinguha gayod mga mausab kini nga pamaagi. Kinahanglan magtukod kita o mga socialized housing dinhi mismo sa urban area sa siyudad para dili sila mahilayo sa ilang opportunities for livelihood. We have decided that vertical housing is the way to go for Cebu City, considering our challenging topography and rapid urbanization in the city center. To date, 2 medium-rise buildings are already under construction for socialized housing located in Barangay Lorega, San Miguel. Our local housing board is also proposing more of these. Admittedly, the cost of building condominium-type complexes is higher. So in order to address this, I have recently convened the city's balanced housing compliance team, which shall ensure that private developers of subdivisions and condominiums comply with the requirement under the Urban Development and Housing Act, ODHA, which states that they should allot 50% of the total cost of the projects of socialized housing. And I am happy to report to you that we will soon be seeing a product of this endeavor. Cebu Landmasters Incorporated is set to break ground for a medium-rise socialized housing building which will house 100 families in Barangay Lorega, San Miguel, in compliance with this provision of the UDHA law. The COVID pandemic tested the city's capability to respond quickly and